Give me some water, Caleb. Cold water. Thank you very much for those who are joining us. I can see we are building up the numbers very quickly. We are building up the numbers very fast. I see that. Please welcome. We are building up the numbers very, very fast. Welcome, welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. For those who are joining us, let's build up the numbers. Let's build up the numbers. Thank you, Mr. Caleb. Giving me a glass of water. We are building up the numbers very fast. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for all those who are joining us. Welcome to this broadcast. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you very much for all those who are joining us. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good evening. Good evening. Others are saying good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much. Thank you for those who are saying you are watching us. Thank you very much. Countrymen and women, welcome to this very, very brief broadcast. Can you remove your phone from there? I've removed volume from all my phones. Sorry for that. An intruder in the house who left his phone on. All right. I was saying that I promised that I was going to address the country pertaining to the issues that have taken place from October, I think, from October 24th, when we were celebrating our independence. That is the so-called Mao Sampa General Conference, which we are calling Ukuguta. Now the issues that have followed that are issues that I think we need to face without emotions. Because if we use emotions, we are going to be misunderstood. I think it's time that Zambians need to be told the truth and nothing but the truth, based on the provisions of our constitution and the provisions of the law. Ichibemba chitila limbule sansa talila amena mishila. Ichibemba chitila limbule sansa talila amena mishila. Countrymen and women, and all those who are watching us, let me say that if we are not careful in Zambia, we are going to create a political monster that will be very difficult to control or indeed to remove. I'll repeat that. If we are not careful, Zambians, all of us collectively, whether in the opposition or in the ruling party, if we are not going to be careful, we are going to create a monster that will be very, very difficult to remove or control. Why do I say so? It is because of the attitude of us Zambians. I must say that us Zambians, we've got a very bad attitude towards our governance, our democratic tenets, and our democratic dispensation. I must say that us Zambians, we've got a very bad attitude, a laissez-faire attitude towards issues affecting our governance, our democracy, and institutions of government. We take a very laissez-faire attitude towards these things. And yet, these are the things that are at the core of national development. These are things that, if they are not observed, the country may end up being undeveloped for many years to come. If we get very serious about issues of governance and confront them as they come with the right attitude and with being sincere with ourselves, Zambia will develop. What we are seeing in Zambia today creates a very fertile ground for somebody to become a dictator and a monster that we are not going to control. It all started with the issues surrounding the Kwacha and Kabushi by-elections. What happened during the Kabushi and Kwacha by-election is something that every reasonable Zambian should condemn in no and strongest terms and with the contempt that it deserves. But what did we see? We saw some people celebrating, some people supporting, when we could see that what was done was illegal and against all norms provided for under our Constitution. The Constitution Court, which is the highest court in the land to deal with constitution matters, ruled that when your seat has been nullified, it's not the same as eligibility. Does not mean that when your seat has been nullified, you are equally prevented from running for office. What did we see? What we saw, that the ruling party with impunity, using the Electoral Commission of Zambia, went ahead to conduct elections without allowing Honorable Malanji and Honorable Bowman Lusambo to recontest their seats. The elections went on, despite the fact that there was apathy, and that apathy was created because people were not happy with the turn of events. But we've sat down as Zambians and just accept that the two MPs sitting in Kabushi and Kwacha were duly elected, when we know for sure that that election was stolen, that was a sham of election. Now, immediately you create that impression. You are making those that created that atmosphere to think that they were right, when in actual fact we should have condemned them and say that we should not allow those two MPs to be in office. That aside, today we are seeing a situation where the ruling party, using the police, want to obliterate the Patriotic Front using underhand methods. When I addressed the country, I think last week, I did allude to the fact that the Patriotic Front has got a constitution, which constitution spells out how a general conference can be convened. In a nutshell, one, the Central Committee must have a resolution to say that we are going to hold a general conference. Once they make that resolution, they ask for people to put in applications to show their interest to contest. Once their interest is declared through the Office of Secretary General. The Central Committee will reconvene. Once the Central Committee reconvenes, they will make recommendations to the National Council. The National Council will sit to approve those who should now go and file in nominations for election at the General Conference 24 hours before the elections. And what is the composition of the National Council? The composition of the National Council is all members of the Central Committee, all district secretaries, all district chairmen, all provincial secretaries and provincial chairmen, all mayors, all councillors, all MPs, etc., etc. And the National Council is chaired by the chairman of the party, and the convention also is chaired by the chairman of the party. All these have been outlined in the Constitution. Now, what begs an answer is that why should the Registrar of Society even entertain change of office bearers by one Mao Sampa and his faction when none of these procedures were followed? And by the way, when you are registering a political party, countrymen and women, we do deposit a constitution with the Registrar of Society. The whole essence of depositing your constitution is for the registrar to check whether you are running your political party in conformity with the provisions of your constitution, especially that now political parties are no longer club, but they are constitutional institutions which are spelled out in the 2016 Constitution, the 2016 amended national constitution. The job of the Registrar of Societies is that if there is any dispute in a political party, first and foremost, people don't even need to go to court. The registrar is a referee who can say that, look, this dispute that you have, your constitution spells the following things. And if you did not meet any of these criteria to do whatever action, not only holding the General Conference or elections, whatever action that may bring dispute, the registrar will advise and say, no, we cannot do this because you did not follow your constitution that was deposited with our office. Now, we are extremely disappointed that there has been attempts by the Registrar of Society to change office bearers merely by a letter coming from Mao Sampa claiming that he had held a general conference and was elected president of the Patriotic Front. Even when you see the videos from that general conference, one would tell that that was a fake and sham gathering. Look, when they applied for the police permit and when they applied for the use of the Mulungushi International Conference, they said the PF is going to have a retreat. And in the PF constitution, there is no provision for a retreat. So right from the beginning, what Mao Sampa reported in this group were all lies that cannot be entertained. And what is so annoying is that so-called Extraordinary General Conference was held on the 24th of October. And we have a letter. It ended around 18 hours on the 24th of October. And the same 24th in the evening, the Commission of Police, the Deputy Commissioner of Police, wrote a letter to the Registrar of Societies clearing the names of office bearers for Mao Sampa that he was elected as president. Now, I have registered a party before. We have tried to change office bearers before. There is no way, there's never been a time that the police have cleared the names within an hour or two. Because what happened, like I've said, there was this letter by the Commission of Police to the Registrar of Societies telling her that we have cleared these names and you can go ahead and effect changes on the PF. By 9 hours in the morning, the fingerprints were cleared and the letter rendered to the Registrar of Societies. The police became very efficient for the first time. I can give you examples of applications or scenarios where the Registrar of Societies has refused to change office bearers when a matter is in court. The first one is the NDC transmission. The first one was for the NDC. When there were wrangles in the NDC, Comrade Mwenyamusenge said he was the president of the NDC and that I was not the president of NDC, etc., etc. He approached the Registrar of Societies to try and change. Started playing with the network. I was saying that we had a similar situation when I was in the NDC, where Mwenyamusenge just woke up and wrote a letter to the Registrar of Societies to say that he was the right president of the NDC and requested that names be changed of office bearers. We took Mwenyamusenge to court to challenge his action. When we took him to court, the Registrar of Societies refused both parties, our side and the side of Mwenyamusenge, refused to entertain any change of office bearers. And the reason she gave was simple. She said we cannot effect any changes unless the matters in court are concluded. And true to our word, when the matters were concluded, she accepted the Constitution and accepted to change the office bearers. In the case of the Mutati versus Nakachinda, equally, the Registrar of Societies refused to change the names of the office bearers, that until the court matters were exhausted. In the case of Hari Karava, with Judith Kabemba and others, the Registrar of Societies again refused to change office bearers as long as the matters were in court. There was no need of an injunction. There was no need of a restraining order. The Registrar of Societies acted on just a mere fact that the dispute had been taken to court. Now, ask yourselves, countrymen and women, why is it that the same Registrar of Society who refused to change office bearers for MMD, for National Democratic Congress, and of course for Calabar's DP, Democratic Party, why should they be in a hurry before the matters are concluded to change the office bearers? It simply shows you that there is political interference from the party in office. And that's why I said, if all of us Zambians collectively, we become responsible and show the government of the day, it doesn't matter which government, that what they are trying to do at a certain time is wrong, then this country will develop. But if we are going to support, because today I am UPND, if UPND makes a mistake, then it is okay. Because today I'm PF, if PF makes a mistake, then it is okay. This country will forever be in conflict without registering any development at all. What was wrong in MMD should not be right in PF. What was wrong in PF should not be right in UPND. We've never seen the level of involvement of police in a private political dispute like the one we've seen this time, where police are spending the whole day, the whole night with armored vehicles surrounding the PF secretariat, not allowing anybody to access the secretariat, not allowing the office bearers that are registered at the registrar of societies, not allowing anybody except they just want to allow the Mao Sampa, faction. But the truth of the matter is that there are no people in Mao Sampa's side who can even go to the secretariat. If there's anybody who has to go to the secretariat, then it just has to be maybe Mao Sampa himself, because he has got no following from within the rank and file of the Patriotic Front. Where police don't be used on issues that you know that it is unprofessional. I request the police to be professional and leave the PF secretariat. I request that the police leave the PF secretariat with immediate effect, because your being there is illegal. Now that you've seen that pressure is mounting, you have now started saying, no, we are at the secretariat to protect the property. How do you go to protect a property that is not under threat? The PF has not complained to you that the property is under threat, but police are surrounding the PF secretariat, refusing all the legitimate owners of the property to have access. In short, you have brought the operations of the PF constitution to a complete standstill. For what? In whose interest? It clearly shows that there is a hand of the ruling party. If we continue allowing this to happen, we are going to kill our democracy. Zambians chose to go multi-party democracy after repealing Article 4 of the Constitution in 1990, ushering in multi-partyism. And we should not allow anybody, and I mean anybody, whether president, whether chiefs, whether ordinary people, to play with our cherished democracy. What we are seeing today under UPND, if we don't take affirmative action as Zambians to say no to dictatorship, to say no to illegal operations, this country will never develop. I have seen a lot of UPND cadres celebrating and said, yes, this is what PF used to do. My dear brothers and sisters, a wrong is a wrong. It doesn't matter who perpetuates that wrong. The same way you were complaining when you are in the opposition should be the same way you should be complaining to those in government that what we are doing is wrong. Because this political power, by the way, is very temporal. I have said, and I want to say it again, I was a minister. I'm not a minister anymore. President Hakainde Hichilema is president today. He will not be president for life. He will not be president for good. So to temper or play with democratic institutions, governance institutions, is not good for anybody. This operation of closing the PF secretariat, of pronouncing that Mao Sampa is the legitimate president of the ANC. It's basically a UPND-driven agenda. Look at the security that he was given when he held this sham of a convention. How many opposition leaders have been provided with security to that magnitude or to that level? None. Please, by UPND, I have told you before, my brother, that you had the opportunity to rewrite the history of this country by doing the right thing. But alas, you've even become worse than all the previous governments put together. During the last election campaign, I told people that my brother HH cannot be president, cannot make a good president, because he is a very bitter man. I don't even know what makes him bitter. When he was in the opposition, we thought he was bitter because he was in the opposition. But now he's got the instruments of power. Why should you continue with the bitterness? Let bygones be bygones. Open a new page. You cannot run a country with bitterness, because you make so many mistakes. I implore you, my dear brother, that chill. Take take time to reflect on the performance of your government vis-a-vis the institutions of governance. You have taken the police to arrest anybody who speaks against your government. Any criticism today, imagine that you can take somebody to police cells, he falls sick, you are still guarding him at a clinic or at the hospital, when that somebody is entitled to a police bond. Why not just give him a police bond? He goes to the hospital in peace, because it's an entitlement. But you refuse to give people police bond when you said, in your own words, that police must investigate matters before they affect an arrest. And immediately they arrest, they give police bond. But what are we seeing today? Something else. These are matters that you complained. These are matters that you complained against when you are in the opposition. But why do them to your friend? And now you are going to make people lose confidence in the judiciary. And that will be very dangerous for a democracy. I don't know, I'm a layman in as far as law is concerned, but I think I've never seen a situation where a court can discharge an ex-parte order with another ex-parte order, when a day for inter-party has even been put forward. I have never seen. My recollection of many matters in court, I have never heard of a situation where an ex-parte order can be discharged after 3 days with another ex-parte order. What I thought should have happened was that if the other party was not satisfied with the order, they should have applied to the court to bring the case forward earlier than the 1 month that they had given, so that they could be heard inter-party. But to go and entertain another ex-parte order to discharge an earlier ex-parte leaves much to be desired. I am a firm believer in the institution of the judiciary, and I hold the judiciary in very high esteem. But I want to be educated by the Law Association of Zambia, whether indeed discharging an ex-parte order by way of another ex-parte order, when an inter-party date has been set, is legally correct. I don't know. I stand to be challenged, but from what I know is that an ex-parte order is temporal, because you believe that the people that have applied for an ex-parte order have a good case. Then you invite the other party to come and argue the case. But why should you immediately after 2-3 days discharge that ex-parte order using another ex-parte application from the other side. You know, we seem to be putting the judiciary on trial, and it's not fair. Leave the judiciary out of the politics. Let the judiciary do their job independently. Christopher Mundia, Haimbe, Levi Ngoma, stop what you are doing. I will repeat that. Christopher Mundia, Levi Ngoma, Haimbe, stop what you are doing. Leave the judiciary to operate independently. Because if people lose hope, trust, and confidence in the judiciary, this country would be a kangaroo court or a failed state. Would be a failed state. We must be ashamed as Zambians to be acting in this way. And by the way, I don't know whether the issue of certificate of agents do apply in our courts at the moment. Because a matter where somebody wants to take over an organization by crooked means or by illegal means, usually people put in a certificate of agents to show that this matter is extremely urgent. Now, if there is a certificate of agents, why should the court give 1 month? Why should the court give 1 month in which to hear the matter where there is a certificate of agents? Why even accept people to file in a certificate of agents if you can keep it 1 month? From the layman point of view, what I know is that when you put in a certificate of agents, you can even follow a judge to their homes to issue the order. You can even follow a judge even at the weekend to issue an order because there is a certificate of agents. But what we are seeing now, where there is a certificate of agents, the court give 1 month to hear the matter. All these things that is happening at the party secretariat is being created because of that 1 month period in which to hear the matter. And by police, back to you again, tear gassing people, using rubber bullets to disperse people who just went to protect their property. They were not being violent. You've always talked about the way our brothers died. Nsama, Joseph Kaunda, and Mapenzi Chibulo. These people died as a result of crowd control by the police when there is a protest or a political gathering. Should we continue? Because, Mr. President, every time you have a discourse, you always talk about the death of these people. Now, if really you've been so concerned about how these people died, could you allow your own police to start firing live shots and rubber bullets, and also using tear gas? One child died of tear gas at the University of Zambia, at the hands of police. I've just forgotten the name of that girl who died. Sure, I think we need to change the way we do things. You go to fire. By the way, 2 people were shot yesterday using rubber bullets. Mr. Davis Mwila had his window shattered, and another PF card had his window shattered by a rubber bullet. Why should Zambia accept or allow such things to be happening? Kudos to Rolamit. Kudos to Rolamit, who has condemned this action by the police, the action by the Registrar of Society, And by the way, Zambians kwena, but Jack Mwimbu, I have always said, and I want to say it again, insonye wuntu. Jack Mwimbu, you are a lawyer. Mr. Akafumba, my dear brother, who I hold in very high esteem, but I don't know if after this I'll ever hold him in high esteem. Permanent Secretary, lawyer, Minister lawyer, you allow the Sampa thing to be registered with the Registrar of Society who you supervise. Search yourselves, gentlemen. Search yourselves. Attorney General, search yourselves. Search yourselves. Search your souls. Let us do the right thing for Mother Zambia. No matter how bitter the truth can be, but just do the right thing. Jack Mwimbu, when there were these confusions between Honorable Mwenyamusenge and our NDC, you spoke about it in Parliament. You spoke about it in Parliament, I remember very well, condemning it, saying the registrar must not interfere. So Alela Ndilafe to show to keep up appearances. Today you are minister, you are doing the same thing. You condemned the killing of Nsamansama, Joseph Kaunda, Mapezi Chiwulo, by the police using force. Today, you go and ask the police to use force on innocent PF members who just went to access their secretariat. That is why when I started Zambians, I said, Ichibemba chitila limbule sansa, dalila amena mishila. Elo Ichibemba futi chitila, chichilifye, tachifimfya mkonso. Chisesa chitonto litomfwa. Mweba mninane, na mpapata. Lesa engeni kila mitima yenu, to make sure that you do the right thing. And I want to tell you, UPND, no matter what you do, illegal things that you are going to do, when your time to leave office comes, you will go. And you are directing your arsenals to the wrong institutions. It is not fellow political parties that will move you out of office. Never be cheated. It will never be another political party to remove you out of office. It is the people of Zambia. When they see how you are conducting yourselves, all these things that you are doing, the people of Zambia are taking note. And they are comparing with what you were saying when you are in the opposition and what you are doing when you are in government now. For instance, Laura Miti used to condemn a lot of things under PF, and she's condemning. The Bishop Teres Fompundu used to condemn, and she's condemning. Are you not ashamed that you should be reminded of doing the right thing? Now, praise singers, UPND, tell your party that what you are doing is wrong. Kulari shame footy, pop, pop, against your own people. Sure. Against your own people. Wefi muleki. Muleki efi. Nobody has succeeded in using state institutions to stay in power. Nobody. And you will not succeed. UNIT failed, MMD failed, PF failed, you are also going to fail. Because ultimately, it is the people of Zambia who vote in governments. You would kill PF today because that is the program of UPND. You think when you kill PF, then you'll be in office for the rest of your natural lives. You are misleading yourselves. You would kill PF today, another party will be formed. And in fact, Zambians, the way they act, when you squeeze them too much, they will come together like they did come together in 1991. And mukamona kwati chisomo. Stop it. Run the country in a manner that is acceptable. A manner that respects our constitution. A manner that respects institutions of government like the police, the registrar of societies, etc. In a nutshell, what is happening to PF is not a fight for Mao's Sampa. It is the UPND government fighting the PF using Hakainde Hichilema, the president. Because if the president doesn't want illegal things to happen in his government, he will just give orders. Can you stop what you are doing? Remove those police officers from the PF secretariat. They will be removed. But he's there and quiet about it, enjoying it. Enjoy it while it lasts. But abena Zambia bachavi. Elo na yo Mao Sampa. Mao Sampa, my brother. Leke fiolechita. Leke fiolechita. Takwa obupuwo bukulu ukuchila pakukubomfya being used by others. Abantu bambinge bale kubomfya okuchite ekintu ninshi uba obupuba bwapitirira. Chawama we mwine nwole ichitile ekintu, but it is clear that what is happening has the hand of UPND. Like I've given examples. No police interfered in the NDC wrangles. No police interfered in the UPND wrangles. No police interfered in the Democratic Party wrangles. Abene resolved their problems. We never saw where the police took over the NDC secretariat to prevent people from going there. We never saw where the police took the DP secretariat. We never saw where police took the MMD secretariat. Why should your police today? IG, balungu baya ku secretariat, basangana kukomwa babakanye ba police aho ifota pale for tungalanda. We are working on instructions. You go and find out from police headquarters. We come to a police headquarters, is told, no, you cannot be allowed to enter the police station. A police station is a public place. The police force headquarters is a public place. How can you refuse the former head of state to enter a police station? Hello, my brother Bayui, the one who is in charge of security. I'm calling you my brother because in Zambia we must respect one another and we must love one another because we are all Zambians. Amano ya lubuli munina ne yesanga mwalwa. Abembe batila amano ya lubuli yesanga mwalwa. Ye paliamu ma left hook na right hook. Ngana chimuma ngachipona. Na bakuma kale na lupwa. Behavior ile mule mkwete Bayui ya kuba disrespectful even to former President Edgar Lungu. You should stop, my brother. You should stop arrogance. I'm not showing alelo. Hey, yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Lungu. What can we do for you? No, we want to see the ID. No, we cannot allow you. He told you, no, you cannot decide whether you can allow me or not. This is a police station. I have told you I have the power. I have refused. I cannot allow you to come in. Bayui, do you want the police? Do you want the police, Bayui? I. Bayui, it will end in tears. Mao Sampa, it will end in tears. Na imwe bamo abapala bamwana montana bambimwe bakonkere Mao Sampa ibwele nimo, because it's clear that Mao Sampa is a hired gun by the UPND to destroy PF. But I want to tell you that PF twali chulila PF twatampile PF mu 2001 na basata. to build it, we have suffered. Don't destroy PF. But police, fumeni ku secretariat. The secretariat here. Secretariat is not under any threat. Leave us to operate the part from our secretariat. In conclusion, I want to say that what was wrong under MMD can never be right under UPND. What was wrong under PF cannot be right under the UPND. A wrong is a wrong, regardless of who perpetuates it. Mwebena Zambia, stand up. Mwebena Zambia, stand up. Elobane Mwebena Zambia, let's be united. Hii idea ya kula support fintu, nangu kana support fintu, because you belong to a certain region must come to an end. We should love one another. Zambia has got 10 provinces, 73 tribes. All the tribes, all the regions are important. In making decisions for the country, appointments, etc., we must be wary of the fact that we have 73 tribes, 10 provinces, and all the 10 provinces, all the 73 tribes must take part in the governance of this country without any discrimination. Equally, chintunga na chiluba, teko batu pantu president uli pomubemba, ababemba kulalanda fiata alifie wino. Nangubale la alensana. Teko batu president uli ponga mutumbuka, kula ebati yo pantu mutumbuka munenso alifie wino, even if ya leluba. Banetule kechi. It is going to lead us into very serious divisions. In fact, umuntu ukwebela kwe chilubo lelanda, a person who tells you against the wrong that you are doing loves you than a person who is telling you that you are doing the right thing when you are doing the wrong thing. Now, Sampa, my brother, I heard you today saying, no, if Lungu has to come back as president of the party, he should apply, then we'll consider his application. Let's learn to be sincere, Miles. Zambians, in case you don't know, I was not in that central committee that sat when President Lungu brought his resignation. Mao Sampa was in that meeting. And I have seen the minutes, and I have been told that it was unanimously resolved that the resignation of Lungu was rejected by the Central Committee, where even Mao Sampa was. And he knows this. I saw the minutes today, where the Central Committee said, no, we are not accepting your resignation, but to accept you to go on leave until you come and hand over to the incoming president. Which simply means he never resigned. And you, the people, Mao Sampa included, the entire Central Committee, rejected his resignation. And I'm told even people were even crying in that meeting. And one of the people who also shed tears was Mao Sampa in pursuing President Lungu not to resign. So please, let's be sincere. Mao Sampa, meeting, no, we have rejected your resignation, but we are allowing you to go on an indefinite leave until you come and hand over. Now, if somebody was on an indefinite leave and he comes back and say, no, I have come back because you rejected my resignation, why should you today turn around and say, no, he has to apply? Apply to you, Mouse. Are you sure, my brother? Apply to you. Nawangona. Kashinga ni wangona badia. Nabachama America. Elo naba Mr. Ground. Ebo balungu wakachiteko apply. Come on, mad jokes. Fisele fyo bani. Fisele fyo. I don't want to be sarcastic, but kwali wo munu mchulo cha Rolanda tuko kutumpa. I think kulalela ndati kutumpa te kutumpo kutumpa huku. Umwana munganda isa imadi ne wiso. So ba dadu fumalelo mulenji that daddy na kula mitatu umwana. Maozi the KF seller, my brother. Come back to your senses. It's never too late. Come back to your senses. The KF. Once I was to celebrate, it went in tears, my brother. It went in tears. Stop it. And come back to your senses. If you're like Tatafuemi, and tell people the truth, that you were part of the meeting that rejected President Edgar Lungu's resignation. Now today you want to lie and know he resigned, so he should apply. If you are mouse Sampa, it's not right. Waka inga na my brother, if mule chitoko running a chalo. I don't want to be emotional or attach emotions when advising about this matter, because this matter is extremely important that Zambians must learn to say no to wrong things, not just support for the sake of supporting. I have been very consistent about condemning wrong things, and I'll continue with the same trajectory. Musenda mepo mkwae mwewe na Zambia once. Musenda mepo wini. Reflect on what I've told you, Zambians, and let's start telling people the truth. Laura Miti, kudos, my sister. Chama Funda Chama? Fumba Chama. Where are you? Wale imbani nyimbo. You don't say when wrong things are done. Kanchi tumu mutashakuli kalikuisaya. Wakupela fia nchitomo achi wandizi. Most of the NGO people were speaking loudest. Have been given jobs and are quiet. No, let's stop doing that and build our Zambia so that posterity does not judge us harshly. Let's leave Zambia better than we found it. This thing of perpetuating wrong things all the time is not right. It's not taking us anywhere. Leave the Patriotic Front alone by Upnd. Mundia Mwaicho and Mundia, Special Assistant to the President for Legal. Wale ilishanya sana when you were my lawyer. On almost everything. But you are in the forefront. Na living Roma, na imbe. Na ebane wakati yo tuwa sona. Tamba sona ne mule isona. Those offices you are holding are very temporal. They are constitution offices where once government changes, you are not there. Use those offices to create linkages, friendship, build bridges, don't burn bridges. Because you use those same bridges to cross back. Elon ama governments, ama government bane, wa president HH. Certain positions needs mature people. Certain positions needs mature people. Milanga shefi fulo. Milanga shefi fulo. If you are a special assistant to the president, tell the president the truth. Don't tell the president what he wants to hear. Tell them nothing but the truth. Na totela mkwai. I hope mwa mfefyo na sosa. Sampale. Long live Zambia. Good night. Chishimba Kabwili. Signing off.